Bonjour, everyone. Welcome to the player ratings after the 2-1 defeat to Leicester. I'll start off with Karl Darlow, shall I?
Go on then.
Let's go. Karl Darlow. To be fair, it would have been 3-0 and definitely game over if it wasn't for him. At one point, was it Barnes, I think, had the chance one-on-one at the near post. And that was the real moment where Darlow showed his worth today. Obviously, he had the Liverpool masterclass. He's getting a bit more attention now, deservedly so, over the England goalkeeper situation. There was nothing he could do about the first two goals. It was the defence and mainly the midfield that just didn't track back and do enough to stop Leicester scoring a couple of goals. But Darlow, when called upon, like that chance for Barnes at 3-0, to take the 3-0, he did well, made the save, commanded his box well. I'll give Darlow a 7 today.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Like every time, like we don't win, we're not overly happy with the performance. Like we've never really got anything negative to say about Karl Darlow, but like every goal that he concedes, there's never really anything he can do about it, really. You've always got to look at the defenders and say like where were you? Like you didn't really have like you couldn't really have done any better, to be fair. So I think that's fair enough. Again, right wing back with DeAndre Yedlin. Absolute superstar from the Liverpool game. Best we've probably ever seen him play in the 5 or 6 years he's been here. So I think he set himself a bar which he's never going to recreate, really, was he? I don't think he's turned into fucking Superman over Christmas. Like I think it was a decent performance. It's better than what we've become to know of him to play over the last year or so. But yeah, it wasn't great. I think it was a bit of an average performance, to be fair. He looked pretty good getting forward. He tried his best in defence, but Leicester were really good, to be fair. I think Maddison had him on a little bit. But I'll give him about a 6.
Fair enough. I think the same. I think, again, he showed the odd promise of getting forward, overlapping. It was his final pass, I think, that was a bit weak. Yeah. Defensively, he wasn't too bad, to be fair, so that's probably about right. I obviously set an unrealistic standard after the Liverpool game. We're not going to see that again. I'm surprised I've seen that ever again since 2016.
I know. Was it him or was it Murphy? I'm sure it was Yedlin put a good ball in, like right across the 6-yard box, just about a few inches too far for Wilson to get his head on. But it was a brilliant ball. I'm sure that was Yedlin.
Yeah.
Fabian Schär.
Good again from Schär today. I think you could see the confidence in Fabian Schär from that Liverpool draw. Really picked himself up. Looks a lot more comfortable in that back five. Did enough today. Did well. Solid enough. Picked his head up the odd time. Sprayed one out wide nicely to Ritchie at one point. Looked good. Looked like he's getting back to where his best can be. Still not quite there, but definitely improving every game now in the last couple of weeks. So I give him a good 6.
Yeah, I think that's fair as well. Here's another one that really set a massive bar against Liverpool. Him and Yedlin were two of our best players who've been shite for the past year or so. So I think he kind of maintained that kind of level that he did against Liverpool more than what Yedlin did. He played one great ball out onto the left-hand side when we were trying to get back into the game. Picked the ball up, sprayed one wide. Decent performance from him. Federico Fernández. I thought Fernández had a good game, as he usually does. He's usually pretty reliable, pretty solid. He got done out a little bit with was it their first goal? I think he just couldn't really get his feet sorted. I think Vardy tried the nutmeg. It wasn't really a successful one, but he just couldn't really organise his feet enough, and Vardy got on the end of it to square it to James Maddison. But decent. I think he showed captain leadership as well. I think was it Tielemans' goal? He looked fucking raging like he was having a go at one of the midfielders. Didn't have it with Shelvey or Longstaff, but he's having a go. Decent enough performance. I think he can have the 6 as well.
Yeah, agreed. Looked tired at the end as well, but rightfully so. He come back from the old long COVID and that, and chucked back in the side. Captain's armband the day, but like you say, leadership at the back definitely.
Yeah, I think that tends to happen with Fernández. He plays so many minutes. He's so important to us. He's always reliable. He's always playing, and sooner or later, he does look like he's just absolutely knackered. He's breathing through his arse. He needs more time out, really. Like, you cannot rely on him to play every minute, especially over the winter period where we're playing nearly 3 games. I just seen 6 there. Like, where we're playing like nearly like 3 games a week. You can't rely on players to be playing that consistently. So I think Fernandez deserves a bit of praise for just getting on with it. Need complaints. So it's leadership qualities that in itself, being a captain, not complaining, just getting on with it.
Yeah.
Ciaran Clark.
Clark again, Mr. Reliable, one of our best backs. Let's be honest. He's. I know Bruce came out during the meeting and said he's not an unsung hero for me, but he definitely is amongst Newcastle's fan base. And with each game, every time he comes in, you just know he's not going to let you down. You know he might even nick in with a goal, like he so nearly did against Liverpool. Today he had the odd one when it went wide, but he's just as solid as you like. He's so reliable at this level, which is massively important at centre back. Premier League game, no matter who it is, if it's Liverpool, Leicester, or Fulham, you know he's going to give a top performance, give his all. Again, I give him a good 6 as well. I don't want to give any higher on that because obviously we conceded a couple of goals and lost, but Clark today, very good. Good 6.
Yep. Matt Ritchie at left wing back. I thought he was better the second half. I think first half he was quite poor, lost the ball a few times. We know he's not really the best left wing back, but he's all we've got really at the minute. Jamal Lewis was left out today with an injury, which reiterates the fact that we need to sign someone this window, whether it's Jetro Willems, whether it's someone else. We need more bodies to cover at left wing back because he's just not really good enough to be playing on a regular basis, really, is he? I thought towards the end, like when we were actually going for it, when it was too little, too late, when we were actually pushing bodies forward, he was getting right up the front, like as a more of a winger instead of a wing back. Getting a few good balls in, trying to cause a nuisance of himself, which I thought he did quite well. So he can have maybe he's at best a 6 as well.
I thought he was good in punching. I agree with what you've said, but there's times where it's at that odd header that he wins, the odd putting himself about. Yeah. And then he is good to have on the pitch at the end, especially if you've got Andy Carroll up there for that delivery. Mm-hmm. But we just don't get enough of him in the right areas, to be fair, and then we're asking a lot of him in defensive duty, but in that system, he's okay.
Yeah. Sean Longstaff.
Oh, why do you always put me with Sean?
I'll go on Sean if you want.
Sean, I mean, I've said it in the live watch along. We said he had the perfect opportunity today, the perfect opportunity to play alongside his brother, 2 local lads for the local club. Show what you're worth. Show how much it means to you, because we've said. He could be you could be working in a factory, you could be doing this, he could be me, he could be working in a call centre, he could be working in Asda. He's playing for his boyhood club, he's got one of the best jobs in the world, if not the best, and he's doing it for his hometown club. He's not doing it for Watford, he's not doing it for Carroll, he's doing it for Newcastle United, he's doing it in the Premier League. You're playing against Leicester here, some top-class players, you're playing with your brother, your family are watching. What more can you ask to get yourself up for it? And again, throughout the whole game, he's a passenger.
For about 30 grand a week now.
And he's just doing nothing. He's sideways Sean. He's that moment when he's dribbling backwards for about 2 minutes. He gets the ball on the left flank. He dribbles backwards for about 2 minutes. You just think, what are you doing? What are you getting paid for? What are you bringing to this side? And I said it before the game. I said, look, I know I've ranted. I know I've been raging with him. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, yeah. New year, new Sean. New year, same old shit. Not a different Longstaff. Not good enough. And there needs to be a signing in January in the centre of the park because we're just lacking massively. Without Hayden, if Matty come back in, has to play 3 games in a week after not playing for about a year. What can you expect? Shelvey there comes on later on. Hendrick doesn't get a chance. Sean, he's not good enough. He's not good enough at all. 2.
Yep, I agree with what you're saying. I couldn't believe my eyes when I see him dribbling back. We know, we're almost kind of start taking the mick out of it now because we're so used to it. He passing back again, Sean, are you? But when he picked the ball up basically on the right wing, almost in the final third, and he's dribbling back about 20, 30 yards. What are you doing? I can't get my head around that. That's absolute fucking madness. But I'll get on to Matty, and I agree with what you just basically touched on what I was just about to start off with. he's pretty much been frozen out of the team for a year. Pretty much since Bentaleb came in last January, we've seen very, very little of Matty Longstaff. But he's just came in out of the cold from absolutely nowhere, and has to play the 3 top teams in the league. Like
Literally?
I know. Like Man City, Liverpool, and Leicester. You're just chucking them in for 90 minutes against the 3 best teams in the league after being frozen out for a year. Sound that, Brucey. No worries. So I know people are probably going to point a bit of a finger at him because I think he's another casualty where he set a high standard against Liverpool, came into this game. Is he going to replicate that? Probably not. Well, I thought he had a pretty good game, but I know people are probably going to point a finger at him because I think particularly for the 2 goals that were conceded, he wasn't really getting back much. He could have made a bit more of a nuisance of himself at the back. Could have just helped out a little bit. I said Fernández was screaming at Shelvey for not getting back. You can maybe point a finger at Matty as well, but let's say 3 games in the space of a week against 3 top teams after a year out. Like he looked knackered. He looked done in. He could have maybe done with coming off perhaps, but yeah, I thought he held his own. I thought he had a pretty good game, to be fair. At least he was looking forward. He was trying to make some forward passes. He got involved. That's all you can really ask for. I think he had a pretty good game. He can have a 6. Yeah, I don't think anyone really deserves a 7, to be fair, but he can have a 6.
Yeah.
Miguel Almirón.
How disappointing is Almirón?
Yeah.
What happened to Miguel Almirón? Just when you think he has a difficult start to life at Newcastle, gets his goal obviously last Christmas, and then you see glimpses every week. Where's his best position? Probably number 10, but he does well from the flanks for his country, Paraguay. And then for Newcastle, he just doesn't see there was a real lack of cohesion and chemistry between the three of Jordan and Wilson tonight. And Almirón, I mean, the thing he's done the night most notable is take a black eye.
He was getting hacked down a lot, to be fair. Like, he got fouled a lot.
He was getting bullied, but you look to him to be like a player that's going to create something out of nothing, which we know he can do. He can pick the ball up in his own half, take a couple of players on, set someone up, win a foul, whatever. He just doesn't impact the game as much as you'd hope he do. And I was one of them where I'm crying out to see him start. You think West Brom, he scores within 20 seconds. Yeah. Why is he being dropped the next week? But it's because he doesn't offer probably enough value, or is it that I say Joelinton? I mean, Joelinton should have been the one job for me tonight. I don't think it should have been Jacob Murphy at all. I was pleased to see Miggy come in, but I'm not pleased enough to see what he's doing on the pitch. It's not fruitful enough. We're not getting enough out of him. I don't know if that comes down to Bruce, the system, himself. Either way, not performing well enough. I'd give him a 3.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like the cohesion there just really wasn't there. I don't know if there's a language barrier, perhaps. Like there's 3 players there, 3 different nationalities, 3 different languages. Like it just really wasn't there. I think if you had the likes of Fraser, Sir Maximin, a good English speaker, maybe that's something today. Maybe I'm clutching at straws. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about FIFA Ultimate Team getting them green bars up. Like there's no green bars today, other than the bloodline between Sean and Matty. That's pretty much it. Like.
The only green bars today are Madison, Barnes, and Vardy.
I know, literally, for real. On the other side, Joelinton, as you say, maybe he should have been the one rested today for Jacob Murphy. I probably would have preferred to see Murphy start today. He had a good effort, to be fair. First half, he had a header on target early on. Thought that might have been the kick on that we needed. I think Leicester were on top up until that point. Then I think that was the spark that we needed to try and get back into the game. But that's all he really did, to be fair. Didn't really get involved in the game too much. We'll have to see what we're going to do in the next game. Hopefully Fraser's fit. Will he play Fraser and Murphy? Because Joelinton and Almirón the last couple of games have been disappointing. Like, I think we're pretty much at the end of the festive period now. We've got a week break until the next game in the Cup. Then I think we're playing weekly after that. So, yeah, I don't know. Disappointing today from Joelinton. Did his usual thing. We can pretty much copy and paste the same thing every week. He grafts, he makes a nuisance of himself. He's strong and holding the ball up, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, I think at best I can give him a 5 today.
Yeah, generous, I think, because I think even his older play wasn't as good today, I don't think.
No.
I think it's a big change for us next week. We're really hoping that Ryan Fraser's fit.
Yeah, definitely.
God knows what, if St. Maximin's still just gone up and down the Eiffel Tower all day, I don't know. we need something to change because they're not offering enough.
No, definitely not.
Atsu, bring back Atsu for the cup.
Bring him home, baby. Callum Wilson.
Isolated and frustrated as ever. What I will say though is there's balls that have been dangerously put into the 6-yard box and he wasn't there for a change.
Yeah.
Which was surprising because I think Ritchie and Murphy and maybe Yedlin, like you said, put the odd good ball in and you think we just need a striker there who's going to gamble. Nobody was gambling. Nobody was making that run. Nobody was beating the man. And that's why I was calling for maybe a Gale to come on instead of Sean, because Wilson, the ball was put into good areas 2 or 3 times and he was nowhere to be seen. The biggest moment was obviously, was it a penalty? Probably not. Probably just gets enough of the ball. Apart from that, we didn't see enough of him, but he did graft hard at times, did run people down the lane, did show good strength. I'd give him a 5.
Yeah, had a call for a penalty as well, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I call for a penalty.
That's the start 11. 3 changes made. The first one, Jacob Murphy, and I thought he changed the game. I think when the game was pretty much dry up until that point. We were 2-0 down by that point. I think it was 1-0 at that point. He started to change the game. He showed a great burst of energy from the first 2-3 minutes of being on. He wanted the ball. He was trying to take people on. Got a few great crosses in, a couple not so great as well. But I think he did change the game. I think if we were going to get back into the game, I think it would have been the spark from him. Yeah, he only played for about 5 or so minutes. I think Carroll came on. That was about 7 minutes. That was a bit of a connection there between Jacob Murphy and DeAndre Yedlin before he went off. Both of them have got great pace. They were trying to stick some crosses in, but it was just too little too late, really. But I think he sparked a real energy that we needed, which reiterates the fact that he probably should have started ahead of either one of Almirón or Joelinton. I wouldn't have really been that bothered by it. Joelinton probably would have been the preference, but yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully it's another lesson that Brucey can learn. Maybe it was fatigue. Like I say, we're playing a lot of games at the minute, 3 games a week nearly. So yeah, just one of those. But I think for his involvement, for how much he actually changed the game, I'd actually quite like to give Jacob Murphy a 7, because I thought he was brilliant when he came on.
He was, you're right. Energy, impact, creating gaps and spaces in behind, making things happen. Just couldn't quite get that. I couldn't quite get the killer pass, but I think we saw him. What I liked about Murphy coming on was that he showed he seemed to get a point to prove, like, Bruce, you shouldn't have dropped him. Look what I can do.
Great.
And that's what you want from your subs, and he did that to a good extent.
Yeah, definitely. He was trying to make a similar impact to what he did when he came on as a sub against West Brom. He probably shouldn't have been dropped from that game either, but he came on with not long left and put in a killer ball for Gale to score the winner. He was trying to do that today. Had a few good crosses, but none quite to that effect. Almost immediately after Murphy came on, Jonjo Shelvey came on.
Oh, Shelvey. I mean, I would have rather him played than Sean, because I think neither of them have got legs, neither of them track back. What winds me up is you can see Shelvey and Matty jogging back when Leicester get the second, Tielemans. But Shelvey, you mentioned it now on the watch along, and we'll see it quite a bit. It's just a hit and hope in it. He just hopes that someone's there. He knows deep down he's got the talent. He's naturally gifted with that right foot, and he just thinks, "Oh, well, if I whack this, hopefully someone's running somewhere and someone can get on the end of it." And that's what he does. He heads down and he does get his curve on it. It's like a golf shot. He does get his curve on it. He does find its area, but there's got to be more to that. You've got to think about what you do more. You've got to be more aware of everything in terms of what the game plan is, of who you're tracking as well, not just hit and hope, swing your boot and hope that it goes somewhere, because he can't offer that. That's what we like about Shelvey, the killer pass, but we don't see it enough, and we should have maybe saw it more. Maybe he should have started, but he didn't do enough. And like I say, he's tracking back that costs with the second goal. Not just him, but he's involved in it, and we see it every week if he plays. So Shelvey can have a 4.
Yeah, I was disappointed in him today. I say, like, when the ball comes into him, he can be almost on the halfway line. Like, his head's down, just lumps one up, tries to just get it in the box, like a quarterback roll, Hail Mary into the end zone. Like, he's just waiting for basically Andy Carroll. So he comes on, and that's basically why. That's basically the old Brucey tactic. Shelvey, get the ball, Andy's in the box, lump it up. You'll probably get onto it. And that's basically it. But Carroll was immense when he came on. Not only did he get his first goal in 10 years for the club, his first Premier League goal in almost 3 years. We've been waiting for this for so long, and you're 85 pound up, so I know why you're smiling. But it was a great finish. Like, we've been waiting for this for almost 18 months. Like, we know, like, when he's fit, what he's about. He's a great finisher, but like particularly over the last 12 months, like he's had easier chances than that, I should say, and he's just squandered them. So I think my faith in Andy Carroll was completely out the window. I was all in favour of him coming into the club in the first place when not a lot of people were. But like, over the last year, like, some chances he's had, proper squandered them, proper shocking chances. But I thought he was a nuisance of himself, got the goal. He was chasing everything down. Even at the back, he got his head on it twice, 2 defensive headers, getting the ball out. Like, he's like just the proper old Geordie, like the Andy Carroll of 10, 12 years ago. Just loves playing for the club, put his body on the line, defence, up front, wherever it is. He just wants to help out, and he really did that for the first time in that we've actually seen him back. He really helped the team out, and we actually could have got an equaliser if we tried, because the goal came 81 minutes. That was like four added minutes of extra time, nearly 15 minutes left to play after that. I thought we could have went and got the equaliser. I thought it was going to be like the Everton game from last season away, but I didn't get it in the end. But yeah, Andy Carroll and Jacob Murphy were great impact subs.
I mean, you think about Andy Carroll not scoring all that time that you just said there, not just for Newcastle, but career-wise since West Ham, April 2018. You think if he's going to come on there, he's going to probably score a header at the back post. That's what everyone thinks. But it is a good volley. It's a good finish. It shows what he can do. It shows that he was up for it as well. I mentioned Murphy coming off the bench to try and make an impact. Carroll came off the bench and made an impression. Another player whose contract's running out in a few months' time. Glad to see him finally get a goal, especially at St. James's Park. Yeah, you've mentioned now, like he's had some easy chances, back post headers from a few yards out that he's missed in cup games against lower league opposition. But today, came off the bench, up and down the pitch, in the box for us defending, in the box at the other end scoring. Pretty perfect impact for a sub, really, isn't it? And if only Shelvey had found him for another pass, really give him another chance from his head or from another one-on-one opportunity or something. He didn't have that, but what he did do, he nailed it.
Yeah, definitely. For the impact, I think it was my rating. I'll give him a 7 to match his shirt number. And Steve Bruce.
Well, he made these subs, and at one point, everyone in the watch-along couldn't work out what formation he was playing, who was playing where.
Yeah, I still don't know now. I haven't got the foggiest what we're doing. What
was going on, where, bringing on strikers for right backs and midfielders for here and there and everywhere. It's just
no shape at all.
I just think from the off, I don't think Sean was the right choice. I know it would have started option with Shelvey or Hendrick, but I just think, again, there's just too much respect shown to Leicester. It's too little too late in terms of pushing forward. I mean, look at what we did in the last 8 minutes. How much we impacted that game, how much we rocked Leicester, how much we looked dangerous in the final third, crosses and bodies in the box. Why not do that earlier? Why not even do that when you're 1-0 down? Fair enough, you start with 5 at the back. I agreed with that. I think Leicester are a top 4 side. No problem with that. At half time, it wasn't great, but we're still in the game. I can kind of understand it. And then 1-0 down, he does make 2 changes early, but again, it's too little, too late. Like I've said, for the last 5-10 minutes, we look dangerous. If that game goes on for another 5-10 minutes, we might take a point there. Yeah. So why not do that 5-10 minutes earlier? It's a shame, because I think we could have probably got a result out of the day. I don't know. What would you give, Bruce? I'd probably give him a 5.
Yeah, I when in doubt, just slap him in the middle. So yeah, I thought the starting 11 was decent. Like, I was happy for Sean to start. Like, I called for it. I thought he deserved an opportunity with his brother. Like, the two do work well together when they play. The subs were good, but I don't know, that just wasn't enough in it. Like you say, it was too little too late. Like, he's waited until about 80 minutes to play football, and even then, it was just kind of lumping up. Like all the players were forwards. That was what we're playing about, with 8 men forward for a change. Usually it's 8 men back. But it's just, there's just no shape. There's no, like, the lads probably don't know what they're doing. It's just get Andy Carroll on, get Shelvey on, lump it up, get Ritchie forward, Yedlin forward, Murphy forward. Sean Longstaff was playing as more of a number 10. He just didn't really know what the hell he was doing at the end of the day. And we didn't get the win. Like, Leicester's a great team. They're, third in the league now? Like, we never really expected anything against this game, but it was the same with Liverpool. We never expected anything against Liverpool, and we actually played well. Like, every man on the pitch performed, and would probably potentially deserve 3 points. We definitely deserved 1 point. But today was a bit of a different story. I just think it was a bit more backs to the wall, similar to what it was against Man City. Just reverting back to the old Brucey tactics. Defend, and yeah, it's just disappointing. Like, we don't want to see that kind of football, and it is a shame that we didn't start playing until 80 odd minutes, because, like I say, if there was another 5-10 minutes on the clock, we could have got a point. It's just so frustrating that we'll wait this long. Like, this stat come up during the game, when number 1 in the league for goals scored in the last 10 minutes. Why is that? Because we're usually behind, and he shits the bed, just chucks all the strikers on. It's not good enough. Like, you can't. Like, a game isn't won in like a minute, 10 minutes. Like, you have to perform throughout, and that's how we got the point against Liverpool, because we did. Everyone performed, and it just wasn't really the case today. So yeah, I'll give him a 5. Let's say the changes were good. I wasn't angry at the starting 11, particularly with Lewis out. That was one change that I would have made if Lewis was available. Lewis to start ahead of Ritchie, but he pulled up in training yesterday. So yeah, I thought that the starting 11 was great. Murphy, the only other exception, him in for either Almirón or Joe Linton. Not really that bothered. Flip of a coin for that. But yeah, you can have a 5.
And that rounds up player ratings for Newcastle's 2-1 defeat at home to Leicester. Make sure you pop yours in the comments below. Subscribe to Magpie Channel TV and enjoy yourself.